Gabe's special guest! Welcome back to Minecraft. In this part, we commit terrorism.
Nice.
FBI, we're lying, just so you know.
No. See, the reason we say in Minecraft is because the FBI guy listening into on us isn't going to know that we're serious because we're talking about Minecraft. Like, if I just say, I'm going to go to the White House and place a dirty bomb out front the gates and detonate it at 0500.
Oh my gosh.
The ATF is going to be at my door. But FBI guy, just know I'm talking about in Minecraft.
Gabe hears a knock on his door.
Gabe just cuts out.
What are you talking about? I mean, it's not like the ATF guy hasn't.
Gabe, you're under arrest for Minecraft crimes.
So virtual crimes are now going to become real crimes?
Yeah.
Oh, rip Gabe.
They got him.
They got him.
Oh, it was Gabe.
Alright,
Hey, Mr. FBI agent.
Oh, really chunky moth.
Damn, it feels good to be a
Gabe's
gangster.
been replaced by an FBI agent. He's like, hello, fellow.
Hello, fellow
game
gamers.
friends. Did you
I know
catch
one.
the-
I should invite him on
Come
Smash
on,
Team Games.
Will.
Did
Why
you,
are you being
did you,
so offensive to me? Don't be so rude,
Did
man.
you catch the Smash Bros game last night?
Man, I love Pokemon. My favorite one is Agumon.
Hang on a second. I'm suspicious.
I really like that yellow one with the.
I need to
the
ask
red
Gabe, let me ask you something, okay?
Of course, Evan.
What do they call you?
What do they call me? Why, my name is Gabe after all. What else would they call me?
Alright, you gotta change your Discord name to Gabe
No, he
after all.
didn't say the lie. He didn't say the lie. He didn't say the lie.
Yeah, you're right.
Changed my Discord name? Why would I do that? Now that's just lunacy.
Imposter!
Evan, for the weather. Imposter? Ah, like that game. In our midst. Nice.
In our midst.
Yeah, I quite enjoy Town of Salem too.
I hate this bit. This bit sucks.
Hey, Town of Salem's a fun game, though.
It
You talk shit about Town of Salem.
Don't talk shit about
It's
Town
okay.
of Salem fans. We will cry. Good shop it out here, bro. How the fuck
looks
he evolved
like,
into Bennett? I don't understand.
Ghost.
Well, it's a puppet.
It is. I mean, yeah, but like...
Perfect
into
for
a marionette.
Halloween, which is coming up, which will be way past by the time this video releases.
Oh, I can't wait for Spooky Month.
Dude, now everybody can dox us. They know that we live in a universe with Halloween.
Hate when that
Everybody
happens.
probably do too if they're listening to this.
Hate when that happens, man.
Wait, do we not have the YouTube multiverse subscription so we can like post our videos to other universes?
YouTube multiverse. I think other
can make
people
a
need to
movie
have
out of
that
that.
subscription in order to join it. So.
Someone could make a movie out of that. I fell in love with this content creator, but they're in another universe.
That's
the
like
mistake
way
was falling in
worse
love
than
with
a
the
long
content
distance.
creator.
Yeah.
The mistake was existing at the same time as a content creator.
Yeah, bastard.
Dude, what's the fucking video? The guy's like playing DDD on a For Honor. He's like, you're sitting there on For Honor punishing people for existing in your era.
Okay, so I don't know what you're thinking of, but I do remember Kanjin in Smash Hall saying, "You're playing for glory, punishing anyone who made the mistake of being born in your era." When suddenly,
that's what it is.
You're staring the big man right in the face, and you get scared, and you
like
think
an
to yourself,
game.
"If only I was the greatest player who ever lived."
Of course I lost. I'm holding stuff in both
yeah,
hands.
Dan,
You
this is
jobber.
the episode where it's revealed that I don't play Smash Bros.
You're a fraud.
He's an
We call
imposter.
Hey, to be fair, I've never claimed to play Smash Bros.
You fraud.
What about that time when you played Luigi?
And you just misfired everybody.
Oh my god, dude, no.
What about that time at the end of your
Fucking-
camp out?
My greatest Smash Bros moment of all time is when I pretended to be a Pichu main in front of one of my roommates for 4 months. and then it came time we had like a Smash Bros tournament with like a bunch of our friends. We had like a big party. And then I pretended to get really fed up with losing because I was actually terrible at Pichu. Because I'm actually terrible at the game. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go Luigi, I'm throwing. And then, because my roommate also just like never plays Smash Bros, so he didn't know about Luigi's up B. And so
the
I'm
sweet
like,
spot.
fuck it,
Yes.
I'm gonna throw. And so then I just immediately bake him with the up B. And he's just like, what the fuck was that?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know, dude. It was so fucking funny. That's like my greatest.
My greatest.
I would say my
achievement.
greatest video game moment of all time, but when Overwatch 2 was released, it was really fucking buggy, and I played Ana, and I had a sleep dart accuracy of 167%.
What the fuck?
For reference, the sleep dart does not penetrate.
No, it doesn't.
It is mathematically impossible.
Well, I gotta send you a thing.
Yeah, but who's counting?
Fucking not Blizzard.
Certainly not. Definitely not Blizzard.
Definitely not
Ooh.
Blizzard.
Real.
Blizzard doesn't count things.
No, Blizzard. Well, I mean,
Blizzard doesn't know how to count.
Blizzard doesn't exist anymore. It's
Blizzard
Activision
is
Blizzard
a
now.
small indie company. Please
A
understand.
small indie company.
That's why it was so hard for them to launch Overwatch 2, and why they don't have all the skins ported over yet. It's a small indie company. Please understand.
Wait, do they not have all the skins ported over?
Nope, my buddy who goes by the online moniker Sonic is still missing his skins.
Oh,
Wow.
like the skins that are like attached. Not like there are
Yes.
some skins that just fucking won't render in the game, but like.
Yes.
Although that
Well,
is,
in a
that
rare
wouldn't
case that
surprise me if that was
also
an issue.
in a rare case that also happens too.
Okay. That's
Players
not
have noted that
surprising.
whenever they see the skin in the shop, and they, because like if you view the skin in your collection, even if you don't have it unlocked, it's still under a different backdrop. But you can also view the skin in the shop, like it's with that kind of gradient playing background. Some of those skins like will just be super low res.
Cool.
You know,
Well, indie
I'm,
company, please understand.
I'm gonna have a hot.
Satoru Iwata, please understand.
Exactly. Please understand.
I'm ready for
I'm
Will's
gonna
hot
have a hot take here.
Go ahead.
The release of Overwatch 2
Mhm.
is the largest shitting of the bed of any AAA game, including
would-
Battlefield 2042.
I was gonna say, like, ooh.
Okay,
At least-
I was actually
At
going
least
to
Battlefield
harden-
2042 is like laughably bad.
Mm.
Overwatch 2 is just like so bad.
What
There's a
about
So
disappointing.
many things are wrong with it.
what about Fallout 76? How does it compare to that?
That is what I
Um,
was actually going to counter with.
Oh really?
Yes.
I don't actually know a lot about that game.
Okay, so aside from Fallout 76 being just a
Was that the mobile game?
no, that's Fallout Shelter. 76
Oh.
was the massive multiplayer, or rather, I say
Oh.
massive multiplayer, but it just isn't really massive. It's 8 people on the map. Oh god forbid. But
Wait, 8
the
people on
reason
the map maximum, or like that's just how many people play the game?
maximum,
Oh, okay.
Both.
like
That's
there's
like Guild Wars
servers
one.
of maps with like 8 people. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, the thing I was going to say was here's what Fallout 76's launch was like. There was no queue issues. There was game launchers not being properly filed. So even if you bought and installed the game would not run. Because
Wow.
of an overthought at Bethesda. Yes. Now you might be thinking, but how? Isn't Bethesda the same reason why Blizzard? It's because they were
Quality.
so complacent with launching that they didn't understand that their IP had the power it did. That's why they kind of coasted by with Fallout 4, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just release this new one. It's hype. We got, John Denver singing. It's a pretty cool trailer. It's really pretty. It's gonna be pretty cool. But I don't know if it's gonna be everybody's niche. It has the Fallout name attached to it. Everybody and their mamas was gonna buy it, and they did. And then if the people who did get into the game with proper working files got into the game was an unholy mess of fucking clipping textures that sometimes players would just load it and just fall through the map.
Oh.
Yep.
Hey, here's a fun fact about Fallout 76.
Literally, they fell out.
It was
Yeah.
a
They fell off.
So it was released on November 14th, which is the same date, barring the year, that Sonic 06 was released.
Sounds about right.
For a while, though this is not the case anymore, they actually had the exact same Metascore as well.
Lucky them. Which is crazy because right now, actually, even though there's hardly any player base, the small player base that is committed to 76 is actually the redeeming part about it. Aside from that, it's actually finished now. Kind of like
Nobody's changed their none of the user scores have changed on the game in spite of that. I notice.
yeah, no.
It still
but
says
here's
shit
the other
like
thing is
2.8 out of 10.
small communities will just inevitably be either barely existent or extremely dedicated. And I can literally, make a Python script, and if I convince 50 really committed people that it is a game, they will make it something very cool. It has absolutely nothing to do with the developer, and just, the fact that, when human beings get together around something they really just generally, they just tend to make things really excellent.
Yeah.
Like,
Almost like the only thing that makes life worth living is other people. And that content is something that we have transcended past as soon as we find meaning in our social interactions.
It's like how
Fandom culture.
It kind of reminds me how people learned how to hack the boot screen for the Steam Deck to make their own custom ones, and after this was becoming widespread around, Valve just gave everyone the ability to do that without hacking.
Yeah, I think that's something that generally Valve does all right with. Is they're very quick to be it's gonna happen anyway, so
Valve is
might
kind
as well
of
Valve is weird.
Well, I feel like they're kind of in a position where so they're easily the most Steam is easily the most popular way to play games on PC.
Yes, it's extremely stable.
And
too,
Valve wants to keep this reputation, so
yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with, if fans are doing, a whole bunch of this, they pretty much have to say, unless it's, entering piracy territory, they pretty much have to say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not that, there's any launcher that is, really... I guess Epic Games launcher is, kind of threatening there.
You see, you're right.
Nothing's really close. I think Epic's the closest.
You're right, but people don't hate Valve, and therefore there's no, strong incentive for someone to push out something that's, legitimately better. Aside from a business that's trying to do businessy things. But because they're trying to do businessy things, they will probably not do anything better.
You know what's really interesting is, you know what other, large organization adopts the exact same strategy?
What?
Very much on purpose?
What organization?
The British royal family. You notice how they don't do, fucking anything? The Queen is, or the King now, is technically, the head of government. And, the Queen theoretically could, come out and be I'm lesbian. But, she could come out and be yeah, so, we're gonna be at war with India again, and just, command the army, and the army is beholden to follow her commands. But the thing is, just, looking at what happened to other European royal families, the minute they took any political position at all, was the minute that all of them became beheaded. And so the British royal family is yeah, Parliament, do whatever you want. Just let me keep my money. And so it's Valve and the British Crown unironically adopt similar strategies for similar reasons.
Well, if it works.
I mean, fuck. I mean, I'm totally fine. Valve really hasn't done anything terrible. I think that they're extremely stagnant, and I would like to see them do more
do anything.
Creative things.
I think it's really interesting how stagnant Valve is these days, because okay, so when I think of Valve in today's age, this has been changing a bit, but I always just think of they manage Steam. They used to make games, but they mainly just manage Steam.
Yeah.
And they're that's not so much the case anymore, but it still kind of feels that way. But it's just kind of making me think about 10 years ago, in a forum, somebody actually somebody had this take, which held water to an extent at this time, but he basically just said, funny how these days the word innovation just means catching up to Valve. And I don't really that's not really
what year was that?
It was I think it was 2012 at the latest.
Well, that is 10 years ago. Yeah, because that was about... No, Portal 2 came out in 2010?
Yeah.
I think
I don't think it
grade
was any
when I
earlier
came
than
out.
2010 that this was posted.
Yeah. Well, so like I mean, that was 2 years after Portal 2 came out. 2 years after a game comes out, like, it's not if you don't release a game in 2 years, like that could mean you're just making a game, like because games take a fucking long time
Yeah,
to make.
exactly. Shut the fuck
so,
up,
like-
Sonic fans.
So like like Portal 2 came out 2 years ago. Valve's still very much like a game developing company. I mean, I heard really good things about Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, I did too.
mhm.
I did too. And I feel like for me, the release of that just came out of fucking nowhere.
Well, isn't
The
there
thing is, I
like
don't care about
don't
VR
they have a
that
really
much, so it's,
weird
like, kind of
organizational
into the dark.
structure?
Yeah, they don't have job titles.
Yeah, like everyone just kind of.
The only reason
like a
that
communist
Gabe
country or
Newell
company?
is the most like prominent is like he's like kind of the leader and like the spokesperson. He's also physically the most prominent person
Yeah.
in the company. But like other than that, like you can do pretty much whatever you want. Like if you're in the company, you can be like, I make maps now. I do art. Like you can just like, as long as like somebody will take you. I mean, there's like project leaders, I think, that will be like, okay, you're gonna do this. This is like the roles in the project, and like, you have to have a project leader that will be like, yeah, you can make maps or like you can do art.
Yeah. You gotta like okay it with people to make sure things are still running.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
like just saying it's basically just like, yeah, I do maps now. I do the artwork now.
Yeah, there's just a lot of
I throw
freedom.
golf balls out the window now.
Yeah. Like you. Yeah, exactly.
I destroy
You
the
can
entire
justify
7th
it.
floor now.
Yeah, you can commit eco-terrorism.
My favorite.
It's a study on Final Fantasy VII.
But yeah, so like that. Yeah, that structure isn't necessarily like conducive
Man,
to
fuck
like
Tropius,
having
am I right?
super productive game developing
Yeah.
like timelines. But the thing is, also like I feel like I think maybe Valve feels a little stuck because like people are always expecting like
Oh shit,
them to
KFC's level
continue-
36. You know what that means?
it's
Well, they're just upheld to a
coming
really high
time.
standard.
Blazing Ken.
Well, everyone's like, oh, it's time for, like when's Half-Life 3 gonna come out? Like, I feel like there's a lot of expectations for them to, like, continue their IPs, even though, like, that's just straight up not how companies work. Like, people wanted
Yeah.
Miyazaki to make a Dark Souls, like, 4, or whatever. A 4th Dark Souls game, I should say. And Miyazaki was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
gonna do other
no.
IPs.
And
And people were like, okay,
that's
dude, yeah, like, we love your games. We'll just do whatever you want.
that was that like the same thing happened with the Mother series where Shigesato Itoi said pretty much right after Mother 3 came out, it's like, yeah, Mother 3's the last one, I'm not making anymore. And the community was very like it was still a very small fan base at this point in English speaking regions, but they were basically saying shit like yep, KFC's evolving. Okay. They're saying stuff like, yeah, cool, go ahead. Though I've noticed in recent years as the Mother fan base has gotten larger with the game being actually accessible to play officially. Like most games except for Mother 3, that is. Like seeing a few more like comics that are just like, why don't they make any more Mother games becoming way more common, because like these people were not there when they saw that message and therefore they have not seen him make that message.
Yeah, so they're not like, they didn't even know that there's no plans to do
Oh,
that. They just
shit,
feel like
Captain
maybe it's like in
Falcon?
copyright hell. Oh,
It's a really
fuck yeah.
interesting look.
Got a compound.
See, this is the thing I bring that up. So I think I've mentioned my friend, like one of my friends' name was Sean. I think I've mentioned him a couple times on here before. But anyway, he always wanted Blaziken to be playable in Smash Bros. Like he mentioned that a lot of times until I finally said to him, wouldn't Blaziken just be Captain Falcon? And then he's just like, oh shit, you're right.
He's already in the game.
Like, I really
Already
cannot
in the game.
imagine a Smash Bros. Moveset for Blaziken that is not Captain Falcon's moveset ripped wholesale. except now it's down specials called Blaze Kick. Side special, it's not Raptor Boost now. It's Sky Uppercut. Shit like that.
I feel like
It's like that.
you
Which
could just
it-
mod that.
Yeah, you really can just mod Blaziken's model over Captain Falcon. And
Someone's done that.
I'm sure someone's done that.
KFC's new form looks more humanoid than anything. It's the most human looking of the Pokemon that I've seen so far.
Yeah. Lots of
See how
Pokemon get
Mr.
more
Mime.
humanoid as they reach their final form. Not
Machoke.
well, some do, some don't. Machoke is definitely one of the most humanoid Pokemon out there.
That's true. What about Ash?
Ash isn't a Pokemon. Ash is a boy.
What? He's a boy.
Monday.
Wait, what if the final
He's the real
form
boy.
of Pokemon are actually humans? What if it's actually humans those trapped in Pokemons?
What if being a Pokemon is being a fucking slave?
I mean,
It's all just an analogy.
there's something to that.
What guy?
That's fair.
Pokemon.
Pokemon. With their hippo the pop the hippo the pop, they don't know what the jazz is all about. See?
see.
Jazz
we-
is like
are we-
Nutella pudding. No, actually, it's more like Kodak film. No, actually, jazz is like a new Coke. It'll be around forever. Yeah.
Are we legally allowed to make Bill Cosby jokes in 2022?
It's not a joke. It's a reference to a video.
Yeah. Okay. Good enough.
Yep. True and real, says I. All oppose?
The FBI agent comes back.
We're American. We can say whatever we want.
All opposed? Nay. Oh, God. Hate when that happens.
Yeah. Don't you hate it when you
I
just
hate when my fucking FBI agent joins into my Discord calls.
Oh my gosh, I should have. Okay, I know an FBI agent. I should have invited him on to Smash Team Games. That'd be so funny. Evan and Daniel, you've met him.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
I should invite him on to Smash Team Games.
I hate that they know
I can
about
have an
my plans
FBI
to release
agent on. I can
chemical
have a
agents into
priest
the
on. Guys, I'm gonna
municipal
get so
building
many interesting
at
guests.
5 o'clock at 4 p.m.
Sounds like you're gonna get a bunch of fucking narcs.
I love calling people narcs. I don't know. It's something so funny about it.
You're busted.
Dude,
You're
I was
busted.
fucking. I
Wow,
was
drugs
fucking
are really
talking
popular
to-
with the same guy.
I give up. Too little, too late. Talking leg.
Fucking, I was talking to one of my coworkers at my job over the summer that I quit because I fucking hated it. And he was like, "Yeah, like in high school, like when you were in high school." He's like, "This guy's like a lot older than I am." He's like, "Didn't you hate it like when the school narc tried to like sit at your lunch table?" And I was like, "When the tried to sit at my lunch table?" And he's like, "Did you not have a narcotics officer like undercover at your school like all the time?" And I was like, "No."
Oh shit! It's Pikachu.
He also
Thing your
grew up
trap
in
bench.
like rural heartland America
Okay. Yeah.
in the 70s or the 90s. Sorry.
Oh, what? Like that's like so. Like when the war on drugs was like at its loudest.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
Dare moment.
get some help.
yeah, so yeah, I guess his school just like fucking had narcotics officers, just like,
Dang.
and they would straight up be like, they'd be like fucking 30, like older, clearly older people, and they would do almost the real life equivalent of
Hello,
like,
fellow
what is up,
kids.
my fellow kids.
Oh boy.
Wow. Really, just
Like, it
21
wasn't
Jump
quite
Street?
so like obvious, but it's like, I mean, it was still extremely obvious
Yeah.
that it was like a narc.
Fuck.
And the guy'd be
Wow.
like, "Hey man, do you know where I can get some cocaine?" And he's like, "Nobody calls it cocaine."
Yeah. One calls it clear. What?
What?
FBI agent enters the chat.
Hey, do you know where
Write
I
that down, write that down.
What do the kids call it?
Oh, you know they
You know.
call it
I don't do drugs.
they call it poop.
Clear
call it
crystal.
Reasonable.
The narc just comes into the school. "Hey, you got any poop for me?"
Okay, so Will, okay, that reminds me, Will, have you seen the fucking videos where it's like dudes weighing themselves before and after they take a shit?
No.
Okay, so there's this like I don't know, there's this like trend
What?
on TikTok. A
I mean,
dude's
that's
just
a vibe,
like
though.
they just like they weigh themselves before they shit. They show the number. They weigh themselves how to take a shit. And, you know, it's sometimes it's like a minuscule amount, like a decimal, or like sometimes it's as much as like the most I've seen was like 3 pounds. I was like, oh my god, what'd you eat? Fucking bricks.
3
And one
pounds
of my favorite ones I've ever seen was, and it's the only one I've ever seen like this too. So the guy like weighs himself and he's like, I think he was like he was like 216.8. And then like it cuts back
Oh, hey,
and it says after
hang
the
on,
shit.
Gabe. That's Shiftry. That's the final form of C dot.
There it is, the Tengu.
That looks like a.
Pre and post shit.
I don't even know what I
Does
would.
it look like a shifty tree, Carrie?
It.
Looks like
I
it's dead
couldn't
now.
even tell you.
Oh,
Like a
Strange
ninja.
for a Pokemon, let me tell you. Okay, Gabe, you want to
Tengu.
continue your story?
yeah, but the one that I've seen, my favorite one is, so the guy weighs himself prior to the shit, he's like 216. The guy weighs himself after the shit, and he's like, and he's like 220. And it like cuts back
What?
to him, and there's just brown smeared on his face.
Wait, why was he heavier? Why was he heavier?
Because he ate the shit.
Oh no!
4 pounds?
Here, though.
4 pounds?
No, it was like a joke. It was like a joke. It was like
Yeah.
chocolate, but
Okay.
like
The
I know, but-
implication that he ate 4 pounds of, frankly, anything.
The fact that he weighed more at the end doesn't.
Not just that he ate shit, but he ate 4 pounds of shit.
All right,
It
all
must have been
right.
somebody else's.
exactly.
Food than I've
Or-
eaten in my entire life.
So,
Oh.
so on the note, like, on the note of like, so like the whole hey, you got any poop after being told that like poop is a sling. What that reminded me of was in Ham Hams Unite when Carrie told the bird that Go Pee was ham chat for friend.
That's right.
Oh, dude, it's like
Legendary.
my high school run through of Pokemon Sapphire, where he's like, "What is hip with the kids?" And I was like, "Heroin." And then it was like, "Is anything cool happening on the continent?" And I was like, "Yeah, hungry children." and then he comes back. This is like a real life, like he always does this. I was talking to him later, and he goes, "I wonder if there's a connection between hungry children and heroin." It's like,
In America?
no way.
Hmm.
Well, it's Gen
Daniel.
3, so in Okinawa.
Oh god.
Okinawan
gonna go
sweet
island
potatoes are
hopping,
so
boys.
good.
You know what else is good?
What?
A hug.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Operation
I don't get many of
Mongoose.
You know what else takes place in Okinawa?
Me.
Yeah, 'cause of
Okinawa.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
Okinawa takes place in Okinawa.
Why didn't they call the
was
Professor
not
Oak from
an
Alola
empty
Professor
vegetable.
Okinawa?
Sorry, what's it, Daniel?
Harry,
Why
did
didn't
you
you call
say it?
the Professor Oak from Alola Professor Okinawa?
It does.
Nice. That was a good joke, Daniel. I hated it.
Thanks.
Well, I slowly just whenever there's like, I do this at work sometimes too. Whenever we have like a team meeting, and there's just
A
like
team eating?
Yeah, we all eat each other. Wink, wink.
You guys are on fire
There's-
today.
There's
Some of it is
whenever
fire
there's
extinguisher.
dead ant, like dead air.
Dead ants.
Yeah, dead ant. Someone starts playing the Pink Panther theme. It goes crazy.
Damn it.
But when there's like dead air and like nobody's like contributing to the conversation, I'll just like the director will ask like, all right, any questions? And it's like you're like I'm back in fucking school, no one's asking questions. So I'll just like, you know, prop my hand up and they'll be like, yeah, go ahead. I'll be like, but what if I die? And the first time I did it, the director looked at me and he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, what if I go to stop someone and then I just die? And then like lighten the tension for like the rest of the meeting. But like since then, whenever there's a meeting, like I always try to like sneak in a way to like phrase the
What if I
question
die?
like, what if I just die? So one of the recent ones, I'll like wrap this up quick, but he was like, blah blah blah. So when you're doing escalator checks, make sure you're listening for the sounds of any like possible maintenance, you know, things that maintenance should be aware about. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. So and I was like, I raise a question, and he's like, Gabe, are you gonna ask if you're gonna die? And I was like, no, I have a question. And he's like, okay, go ahead. So I was like, okay. So the way like the And I was like giving some like actual like context to the question I was going to ask. And I was like, okay, so if the escalator belt snaps and we can't restart it with the key, and we notify maintenance, and maintenance can't do anything about it, and we notify Sentinel, who runs the company that works on those escalators, they're like a global company. What happens if I go to call them and I die? And he's just like, Gabe, I'm about to prohibit you asking questions in these meetings.
It's like you're on the
Well, I guess
escalator.
it just won't be your problem then.
So you,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
they basically say you have to do escalator maintenance, and it's like, and you raise your hand. It's like, but what if Mariah used Bested on the escalator?
I touched the fucking plug. God damn it.
Next time on Smash Team Games, Gabe dies.
Wow, you both said it.
Yep.